Well, hello once again, friends and fans. Raptor here. Behold this masterpiece of communist Chinese manufacturing, the case of the Raptor Mark II. Yes, there it is for your very eyes. That is the case that she was assembled in. Very beautiful. Oh yes. Here is the graphics card in which processes the amazing graphics, the EVGA, well, you know it better as the GTX 670 FTW 2GB. Oh yes. Oh, isn't it beautiful? The excitement of opening this box just knew no bounds. And even though the packaging sometimes can be difficult, look at what we have inside. It came with a magnificent poster and 2 free downloads from the NVIDIA website, including Borderlands 2 and Assassin's Creed. There's the graphics card there, about as big as a brick. My goodness. Oh, it's like you can hear the angels now. Several connection cords come with this beautiful piece of technology, including HDMI to whatever and what have you, extensions and old, as they call them, legacy connections for the power, but no big deal. Oh, it was beautiful. All recorded, by the way, on an Apple iPhone, so if you have any complaints about the video, I do apologize, but yes, there she is in my very hands, and going through some of those extras in there. In the box included is your poster, which will be promptly placed on the wall, probably after making this video. And there's yours truly. Oh, look at this. Very cool poster, by the way. Missiles and machine guns and everything else, if you can see that layout there. A little hard to fit all in one, but very, very cool poster. And the downloads are very cool as well. They're pretty easy to use. You get a redeem code and you go through a couple of websites. But once you download the game, you appreciate it. Keep in mind you will have to download Uplay from Ubisoft to use these. And look at the stickers you get as well. Not too much to look at in terms of graphic card, just because it's kind of, you just get the typical manuals of please do not submerge us in bathtub, please do not use it to make your toast, and of course your drivers, which come on your DVD-ROM, or CD DVD-ROM, as some of you like to say. Yes, what a beauty. What a beauty. Coming up next, oh yes, it's the AverMedia Capture Card Live Gamer HD. It also uses XSplit rather, to broadcast to Twitch TV, and also captures all of your games. Now, of course, being a more serious YouTuber now, with over 300 subs, of course I had to get this. It helps to reduce the amount of size that videos take up, thus lower rendering times, thus more videos per day, which means that you get more of this great entertainment. Opening up this package too, you can see that this packaging on this device is absolutely fantastic, very fancy. You have a glossy outer shell to the box, moving the graphics card there aside, and you can see that it's you kind of slide it up, and the box is actually within 2 smaller cases. So first you have the outer shell, and the AverMedia recording center has a little cover to the top of it. Then there's a cover for the device and the button, which you can easily press just to start recording, there on the right. And there on the left, you have your media capture card, which plugs right into a PCI port. In addition to that, you have your driver CD and a subscription to XSplit for, I think, 3 months free. Inside that smaller box, you have, I believe, maybe an instruction manual and a few other small accessories, including a 3mm jack port, or rather connector, male-to-male, and then your HDMI to DVI connection, and also an HDMI cord for that as well. Oh boy, a lot of stuff included in that. Here is your SSD card, 120 gigabytes from Corsair. SSD highly recommended for today's gamer. In fact, it is almost a necessity. I'm sitting next to this computer right now, and it is much more quiet than the older hard drives. When you're operating, or rather when you're operating your computer with the operating system on there, it can be a lot more quiet when you're starting up, and reduces startup times, as well as you can also put some things on there as well. I've chosen to put a few programs on my SSD, and it's much more stable than a regular hard drive. And oh, by the way, for these hard drives, there's not too much interesting for these. There's just 2 Western Digital hard drives, but as you can see there, those use everything a typical hard drive does, including SATA connections. And again, it's 120 gigabytes. Here is the RAM from Vengeance, 16 gigabytes of rape train pain, baby. Oh yeah, I gotta get out my knife to hold this one back. Rather impressive. But going back to those hard drives, it's two 1 terabyte hard drives that I'm operating in RAID 0. No need to go up above that for myself anyway. Terabytes are more than enough. In fact, the old Raptor Mark I was just using 300 gigabytes, but keep in mind that was made in the late winter of 2007. Here's your Vengeance RAM. All of them, of course, are exactly the same. You do get 4 of these, and of course they go into the motherboard. Yay! And if you didn't know that, well, you're going to learn something here today. So those are your Vengeance 16 gigabyte DDR3 from Corsair. Here, Republic of Gamers, this is the big boy right here. You can see Buddy Boy Ben there in the reflection. There's your motherboard from Asus, or Asus, as some people say, the Maxus 5. Oh, a very incredible piece of technology too, by the way. And a little blurry there for just a second, but no biggie, as we pull out the masterpiece. The motherboard, the brains of the operation in addition to the CPU, but probably my favorite piece of the entire collection. Yes, indeed, the collection. Oh, look at that. Much easier to see the motherboard in the primary edition, but here you can see the PCI slots, the ports for the CPU, and all of the other... oh man, it just looks like a mini city to me. It looks like if you look at it real closely, it looks like you're flying through Tron. It's absolutely fantastic. Inside this smaller box is a group of, well, basically everything you need. You have your driver disk in there. You have your a few of your different cords and adapters and other things like that. Those little white circles there are your antennas for your wireless RAM. There's your back plate and a few other overclocking accessories. There's a bridge for the graphics cards, and oh man, look at all the stuff you get. Attachments for the wireless. Oh, there are other wireless receivers, antennas there, and of course a few other cords. Some of these I didn't use. SATA there down in the lower left side there, and a few other adapters that I didn't use. Right there is the overclocking key up in the upper left hand corner, and a few stickers to mark and label your cords if you want to switch between those, or if you're using multiple different devices. And of course your book, user's manual, always necessary, and your installation driver disk. Very, very good. Up next, yes, the Core i7. This is a fantastic CPU. Not a lot to say about CPUs, because CPUs kind of are pretty much said and done. I mean, once you look at the specs, that's what it is, and that's what it does, and that's kind of what I like. Not too complex in terms of usage for those, or installation. It's pretty much a one-size-fits-all, put it in once and no big deal kind of situation. But the specs of this device, I don't actually have on my PC at the moment written down, but whatever, go look it up. You know what it is, dog. But it is a quad-core, and you can see it comes with a fan like all cores do, and those gray stripes there are called thermal paste, and what they do is they help to transport heat from the CPU to that little fan there that helps to spread out the heat and kind of keep the CPU cooler. Now, to make some of you cringe, oh, there's Charlie. Hello, Charles. Charles not included with your purchases and not available at Newegg. All right, so this device here, as you can see, those are the little notches that connect into the CPU, and there's the top of the CPU. As I was saying, with this being a quad-core device, it creates a lot of heat, and I did not buy an aftermarket CPU. I went with the original. But here's a closer-up of the of Midgar, basically the small city, which is the motherboard, larger than a piece of paper. But here it is with the RAM installed in the RAM ports, taking up all 4 of those, of course. And now we go over to the Tough Power Grand, the 850 watt 7-year warranty, baby. Oh yeah, look at all the specs, SLI, ATI, whatever. That's what it works for. 850 watts, definitely a good buy for this. Also on sale at the time. let's see here. So, by the way, this is what they call, I believe, moduled, which means that it has multiple different connections. And as you can see, those are now all connected to the motherboard. You have your fan on top of your CPU, and there's the graphics card the size of a brick. Coming out of the side of it is your HDMI cord and power cords going over. Now, this, of course, is basically an alpha test connected to the monitor here. What this is all intended for is basically to test. That's exactly what you're trying to do. And there it is, all connected and running perfectly. What a beautiful masterpiece. Of course, this isn't finalized after everything was hooked up. I just wanted to hook it all up again just to make sure it was working. There's your LCD monitor, basically with the A2 there. That indicates that the computer is in working condition. Later on, I put those cords all behind there. There's your your SSD drive and your hard drives, and up there is your CD drive. Here's the case. That brightness is coming from a light that I have hooked up in there, as you can see, and there it is in the BIOS. So, didn't go through everything, but I just wanted to touch on that. The Phantom NZXT case, as well as the few boxes that I got. There's the top of that Phantom box. Of course, this was available in black. LCD lights available throughout the entire system, but I turn them off because otherwise I'm not able to sleep while I'm downloading during the night. So there's the final photo of this masterpiece, and I'd like to thank you all for watching. So until next time, friends and fans, this is Raptor, reminding you that sometimes $200 can hold up 2,000. Oh yeah.